It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Roxy Striar hosting the Kristian Harloff Show. Luckily for you guys, I saw Superman, and during this episode, the reaction embargo for Superman drops. But don't worry, already the social media embargo has dropped. So we're gonna be talking about Superman, and no better person to do this with than my former DC movie news host, Mike Kalinowski. So it's gonna be a good one. Cheer me on, because technology is not my strong suit. Here we go. This should be something. Here we go, Mike Kalinowski.
Hey, look, you got that going right away. That's an A+. A+, kid.
Oh, I wish there wasn't. Oh, Luke, did you just change it to the bigger ones? Mike and I even discussed it before. I thought it was the smaller ones. It's actually the bigger ones.
Whatever.
Luke just
maybe because there's usually
message.
3 of us.
Luke said, "Is everything okay? I'm here." Not everything's okay, Luke. We're going to steer the ship into the rocks today because I am rocks. There's actually no better show for the two of us to be hosting, though, except for the fact that you haven't seen Superman yet, which I'm like geeking out about. When are you going to see it?
Tonight. I got like that Amazon Prime early
What was
thing.
the deal with that? How did that? So
it was just if you're Amazon Prime, and I wasn't going to do it because I was going to go Thursday with all my friends, but I happened to be on my computer at like 3 a.m. And I guess maybe they're on some different time zone or something. And it just went on. Rox, you know me, I'm a night owl. I don't go to bed before 3.
You and me both. Never.
So I'm sitting there. Every seat was open. And I'm like, well, here we go. So, yeah.
Everyone's saying that there's still so many seats available. Is that true?
Are you going off of Twitter?
Okay, we'll get into that. We will.
I think what it is I saw what it is people will take pictures like when I saw it and I, could have taken a picture when it was empty. And then the people are posting the same exact theater and going, well, you're lying because here's the full theater.
Yeah.
But also it's Amazon Prime and it's not like your A-list can't cover it, even though it's at an AMC. So, when it comes to money and stuff, maybe, you want to use your A-list for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're at AMC.
Waiting from Tuesday to Thursday.
No.
So I believe what the deal is that the social media review dropped last night at 9 p.m. I put out reactions so we can read mine, but also we'll read a bunch of different people and what people are saying about the Superman movie online. And then today at noon, so in 1 hour, while we're doing questions, the actual review embargo drops. So then I can answer a lot of questions. So I know
that's today, the review.
Yes.
It's noon. Okay.
It's today at noon. So while we're doing the show, you guys can ask me whatever you want about it. Obviously, I won't give any spoilers, but Mike and I can do a full discussion then. So start sending in those questions now. Mike, do you know how well Roca did yesterday?
With questions?
Yeah.
It was him and Harloff.
220? Oh my God, you have so much more faith in him than I thought this was great. He did 125. He's pulling in big numbers.
Didn't last week he won it like 2-something.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like he had a big win last week.
That bastard. So my goal today is to win, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Nothing would be sweeter than on a day where I've had zero training for this. Things have been an absolute nightmare this morning, and there's no Kristian Harloff on the Kristian Harloff Show, than for Mikey Christmas and I to win this week. Like, come on, people. Let's bring it in. We're talking about Superman today. There's nothing that we care about more on the planet. That's not quite true. There's some things on the planet that I care about. But in terms of movies, so send those in. 125 is what we're trying to beat. But honestly, if we're trying to win the week, those numbers have been so huge recently. We got to put up some big stats. What are you thinking? 150?
At least. But then you close the week out with Coy and Winston.
God damn it.
Superman comes out. So it's like him putting capes and cowls on a Friday if you're hedging your bets, you're hedging your bets, man. So
do you want to know in the email that Kristian wrote me about the rundown for this? He said, get into Superman reactions immediately.
I know.
Immediately. Me looking at the clock, knowing it's been 4 minutes, and he's sitting there seething. This is not immediate. Okay, so now we're going to get to my first test of the show. Can I figure out how to present a tab on my screen to read it. Let's see if I can. Share screen. First reactions are in. Let's go, Rox. Can you see this?
Yeah, I see it. Look what you did.
Oh, baby.
Look at you.
Look at me go. Okay, this is coming from G-Man.
Look at me go.
It's like, listen, you can't bring me down today. All night, everybody's been calling me the worst names possible because I wrote a positive review for this movie. All night. I've gotten thousands.
How?
Ain't nobody gonna bring me down today.
Gee,
Look at me go. Look at me go. All right, so this is coming from G-Man. Dark Horizons. Warner Brothers Pictures unleashes James Gunn's Superman this week, the first film effort of the new DC Universe continuity and relaunch DC Studios division of the company. But is it any good? That's the big question going into the weekend. A review leaked online painting a negative picture. Then on Sunday, leaked one that was positive, followed by another positive one. Today, multiple outlets were reporting that the critics they talked to all had varied reactions, some loving, some hating, and it ran the entire spectrum. While full reviews aren't out until tomorrow, the social media embargo has now lifted and reactions are flooding in. The results so far overwhelmingly positive, with lots of gushing about the movie. The few negatives for the film so far have targeted the script, the second act, and mostly the tone. The tone is being compared to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy and Saturday morning cartoons. What? Okay. Earnestness, campy, rapid fire, etc. And that's the approach that seems to be driving the division. Performances seem to be universally positive, and Corn Sweat in particular being lauded, as well as the chemistry with Brosnahan. Most reactions so far are from online junketers and influencers, not so much major film critics. What? Some of this is not right as yet, but some are coming through. Here's a sampling. Okay, this is coming from Jermaine Lucier from IO9. Superman soars. It's a non-stop joyride packed with humor, action, and emotion. There's spectacle to spare, unbridled optimism, and a goofy unpredictability that ties everything together, even when there are a few minor issues. We've never seen DC like this, and it's great. Perry Nemiroff, friend of the show, said this for Collider. Hashtag Superman made me so damn happy. The movie is loaded with exhilarating action, set pieces, and well-placed humor and levity, but the beating heart of the film is Superman's humanity and his insistence on doing good and making the world a better place. There are some moments when the story structure feels a little jarring, but individual sequences are so strong that such hiccups ultimately feel like mere blips on the radar. This is coming from Brian Hiett from Rolling Stone. Superman is great. It's the most comic booky superhero movie ever made, probably closest in tone to the Raimi Spider-Man movies, but far more fantastical. That leaked review is going to end up as a major outlier. Good reading, Rox. I want to see if there's anybody on here that we know. Oh, this one, Mike, I saw you posted about this. I'm going to read it out loud because I was floored.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Grace Randolph, who has had some very not nice things to say about James Gunn in the past. This is what she said. This is the best, all capitals, hashtag Superman movie to date. When James Gunn gets out of the way and lets his work speak for itself, it's incredible. It's not perfect, but darn close, and made me a believer in Gunn's hashtag DC.
I saw that, and I go, I didn't care about any other reviews. I was like, if she's given that glowing review, like she had tweeted out something early in the week. She's like, I'm just saying this now, guys, get your tickets because it's not going to be easy to get them after the first weekend. And everyone's like, oh, what does this mean? Is it bad? Is it good? So to see that, I'm like, that's something. Yeah. I mean,
it really is because, you know, I don't know her at all. She's not somebody I've ever worked with, but
I'm just outlining.
It seemed like the two people that I saw online that were saying somewhat negative things that I follow were John Roca and were Grace Randolph. And both of them have written glowing reviews.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm very close to Roca, and
me as well. I love him.
Reached out to a couple of the guys, and I'm like, hey man, what is Roca's hate boner with this movie, man? And they had said they were more like he doesn't like the marketing, he doesn't like James Gunn opening his mouth all the time. But I mean, because I got a little heated yesterday because there was an article that ran like, oh, Roca was quoted from Comic Book Movie were saying like he talked to 3 people that saw it and they say it's awful. And I'm kind of like, well, he knows you. You saw it a week ago. You loved it. Why are you not getting both sides of that story? But negativity drives ratings. So like you loved it. I remember you saying like a week ago, you were like, I love this movie.
Here's what I will say about Roca though, because he didn't ask me my thoughts on it. I would have allegedly given them to him.
Right.
But one thing that I really respect about him is that I watched his review last night. Super smart. He doesn't tweet out his thoughts. He just puts that he has thoughts and links it to his video. So I watched the whole thing because I was really curious what his thoughts were. And he talked about how amazing this movie was, despite all the lead up of him not thinking it was good. So I can always respect somebody who has the ability to have their mind changed and doesn't double down or triple down on marketing versus the actual product. So I thought that was really cool of him. I wouldn't expect anything less. No, Luke, I'm going right back to that. I'm still reading reviews. I swear to you, I'm not going to mess this up. I don't actually swear that, Luke. I might mess this up. All right, let me keep going on these. But thank you for moving me, Magician Luke, for the show. Okay, here we go. Just because I want to see a few more of these. BD Brandon Davis, because I saw that he was a little more mixed than some people on this, even though he liked it. He said, #Superman is a triumph for the new DC Universe comic book brought to beautiful live action life, brimming and with hope and fulfillment. It actually elicited tears of joy from me. It's a Superman for everyone. David Cornsweet was born for Superman and Clark Kent. Loved it. So this is a glowing review from him, but I also saw that he talked a little bit about how it took him a second to get into this newer version of Superman, not newer from the comics, but just different than what we've seen in live action. So I thought that was interesting. I used to be in all these articles. Ain't nobody talking about what I said anymore. What happened there, Mikey Christmas?
We stopped doing DC movie news, Rox.
I know.
We were the go-to source.
So we became irrelevant. This one is coming from Inverse from Hua Tran Boy, who says the closest thing we'll get to live action Saturday morning cartoon. I don't understand that comment people keep giving. The cast, especially David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan, is literally perfect. It's a shame it looks like that. I
think because, it could be completely wrong. Like, there was just something fun about Saturday morning cartoons. They were bright, they were colorful, they were, I think what I've seen a lot of relation to is the animated series of Superman. So if you're comparing it to that, which a lot of people just assume that's a Saturday morning cartoon, that's the gold standard to me of Superman, is that iteration of it. So if that's what we're going in,
What are you, as somebody who hasn't seen this movie, who is about to see this movie, so that's like the vast majority of our audience, how are these reactions, these initial reactions making you feel?
So for some reason, and maybe it is because, remember, we always talk about the analogy of your sports team, and DC has always been my team. And we started in 2015, but before that with Man of Steel, DC took a lot of lumps and I was along for the ride with it. And I defended Wonder Woman 84 and I still will defend that movie. I liked The Flash. So I've been here before where the day before the reviews come out and there's hope, feeling it's going to be good. And I remember I got off work last night and I went to get something to eat. I'm sitting down. It's almost 9 o'clock. And I'm like, sorry. I think I froze.
It's okay. We can still hear you. You just.
So I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh God, here we go again. Is this going to be a cavalcade of just crap and dog piling on it? And yours was the first one that popped up. Now I knew you loved it because we had talked, but then it was review. Yeah, allegedly. It was review or reaction after reaction, and then started getting to reactions of people that I know normally don't like DC. And it was just, I got this excitement. And I text my friends that I said, guys, I cannot wait to see this movie with you guys tomorrow night, because it just feels like I did watching Iron Man in 2008. Like back then, general audiences didn't know of the MCU and they didn't think what it was going to be. But those was in comic books and knew you like, oh, this is the start. This could be it. This could be going. We could get an Avengers movie eventually. So I feel very hopeful. There's going to be haters. I know that section of the internet's going to hate no matter what. And then there will be the discourse over the box office numbers. And I know Gunn's getting a lot of flack for that already. But, it just felt good last night. It felt exciting. Yeah,
it is interesting. His whole, it doesn't have to make 700 million and people kind of discussing that. I actually don't even know if that's on our rundown today.
Yeah.
Quickly.
He said something better a couple weeks ago. He's like, I don't have to hit a home run with this. I just got to hit a double. Like, you just got to get the audience. Here's the thing, the story structure. And I remember reading this a little while ago. They were saying Originally, the movie was going to be like days. It was going to say like Monday, and then what would happen in Tuesday, kind of a structure like that.
Right,
So
I read
heard
that
people
too.
saying it's kind of episodic. So maybe that there is some truth to that. And they said, just go linear with it. But everyone seems to love the cast. That's the thing. We needed the people. And I think he realizes we've got to get people loving him as Superman so that you want this to continue.
So what is the thing that you have read that makes you most excited? And what's the thing that you've been reading that makes you the most nervous?
So nothing's really nervous, but what is surprising me is the fact the love Mr. Terrific's getting. Like everyone is saying he's a standout. And I'm on the other hand of that, I'm very surprised I haven't heard anything about Guy Gardner. I thought he would have stole the show. Or that Lex, I thought, would have stole the show. And it's really seemed like it's Corn Sweat and Brosnahan and Mr. Terrific. But in a Superman movie, when it comes down to it, I want the audience to love Superman.
At noon, I will give you more information on that in a half an hour. Send in your questions to everybody. But I think that's a really fair assessment of the online chatter about this, because I have noticed the same thing, Mike. As somebody who's seen the movie, I was a little surprised to not see Nicholas Holt's name as often because he is such a huge part of the movie. You can tell that from the marketing. That's not me saying anything.
Right.
And I think that anybody who did mention him online said glowing things about him, but he isn't as mentioned as Superman is or as Lois is.
Right.
Have you been seeing a lot of comments and love or not love for James Gunn, or have you not been seeing as much about him?
The Grace Randolph thing was one thing where she said get out of his way, but love her or hate him, that's a great picture of me. That's perfect. Love him or hate him, he's the head of the studio.
Right.
And I remember for years, you've been to Comic-Con, you've been to Hall H. For years, we would always say, man, DC needs a Feige. They got to get a guy that loves these properties, that wants to get out there, that wants to talk them, that wants to celebrate them. And that's what Gunn's doing, man. He was out there talking about action figures one day. Like, I want a guy invested in this universe that's creating this that wants to talk about these properties. And people and he knows what he was doing, man. Because look at my Shannon, not a big superhero fan. She goes to him because of me. The first trailer dropped and she's like, I'll tell you why I want to see that movie. It's because that damn dog. And then he puts the Superman in the puppy bowl. So he knows he's getting an entire audience that would never go to these movies because of Krypto. But he has such a strong connection to Krypto because of his own dog. So he's writing the story. And the fact that he wanted to make they asked him to do Superman years ago before the Suicide Squad. And he said no, because he didn't have a story. But then when he finally did it, he has a story. And I want filmmakers that have this story they want to tell. So I haven't, the structure maybe is a couple people. What's up?
Have you been reading a lot about Krypto? Have you been seeing reviews about Krypto?
I've heard people say they love the dog.
Cool.
That's really it.
I didn't see many reviews mention Krypto, which is another thing I was surprised about.
But for me, that's a good thing, because I feel people are like, geez, I've heard all the time, is this movie going to be about the damn dog? Is this movie going to be about the damn dog? So it's not, they're not saying one way or the other. So that means, it's a character in the movie.
I did want to briefly discuss, I know we mentioned the Twitter aspect of this, but I think it's impossible to have a conversation about the reactions to Superman being in and not talk about the online discourse that is going on. It's hard to tell whether it's a small minority that's just very vocal or what, but this is, the internet has been insane for the last 12 hours. I mean, truly insane, where anybody who's posting about this movie is getting tons of flack. And also, I saw Grace Randolph's tweet that got bot farmed and 1,000 other people tweeted exactly what she tweeted or whatever was going on. Are you having a hard time cutting through the noise and seeing what is real and what is not, or what has been your online experience after the Superman reactions came out?
Or actually, I don't think you see me on Twitter every day. I've been dealing with this for weeks. I started liking
your stuff. I don't go on Twitter anymore, but I went on for this.
You're
and
smart.
Then I saw you going and I was like.
I deal with this daily, and it's my own problem because I engage with that certain area of fandom that does not want this movie to succeed. I engage with them, and because I hate it, and they lose all credibility when they try and argue with me, because I go and then I'll throw up the BVS review that I did on Popcorn Talk, where for 2.5 hours I defended that movie, because anyone that loves this new Superman, can't love Snyder stuff.
Right.
And I go, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Not allowed.
Your
Not
argument
allowed.
holds no water because I love Snyder's films. And then they get all like, oh, that's bullshit. I'm like, well, okay, here's videos of me raving about all his films.
It's nice that we have so many receipts.
I know. I just throw up these things all the time. Here's me doing this. Here's me doing this with Snyder. And it's like, but so it's like for what I laugh at it as these things coming out now, like Fox News are like, oh, it's going woke. It's talking about an immigrant. And I'm just like, he's been an immigrant for 90 years. He's the most famous illegal immigrant in all of fiction. What are you talking about?
You're telling me though that this is very common on Twitter, and I had just not been on. Okay. All right.
You've saved yourself from this corner of the internet that is just, I call it the cancer in human form.
Oh, right.
I have to. It's just vile, disgusting people that hate.
Tell me how you really feel, Mikey. How you really feel about this.
I did.
Well, okay. See, she's learning. Thank you guys so much. I'm seeing that we have over 1,000 of you guys live with us right now, which is absolutely amazing. And while I have you guys here, I want to take a second to tell you about Hydro and Factor. So we're going to keep talking Superman afterwards. Don't you worry. There's a lot of Superman to talk, but let's check out from our sponsors, Hydro and Factor.
The warm weather is beginning, and juggling vacations, visitors, zero routine. Hydro brings me back to that structure so I can get it quick, I can get efficient workouts that keep me feeling grounded no matter what the calendar looks like. Hydro to me is kind of the secret weapon for a full body workout. It's like 86% of your muscles, arms, legs, core, all of it. You knock it out in 20 minutes. Super efficient, and it actually works. So one thing that I really love about it is you don't get bored. Hydro, it has so many workouts, it's got tons of workouts. Actual Olympians are telling you what to do, and they're filmed in these gorgeous outdoor spots all over the world. It makes it way easier to stay motivated. So if you're on the fence, there's free shipping, a 30-day risk-free trial. That alone is perfect. Hydro offers a full year warranty. Honestly, there's no pressure. Try it out. See how it feels. So a lot of people getting a good sweat in used to mean hours in the gym. But with Hydro, all at home, on my schedule, 20 minutes. On the weekend, it's the best. Rowing on my Hydro gets me that full body workout without ever having to leave my house. So convenient. I just have it set up in my place. And I was like, okay, weekend, can I get out? What am I doing? We're busy. You know what? I have 20 minutes. Boom. In my house, convenient. Hop in the shower afterwards. I am good. So skip the gym, not the workout. Stay on track with Hydro. For a limited time, go to hydro.com. Use that code Kristian. Save up to $475 off of your Hydro. That is HYDROW.com. Use the code Kristian. Save up to $475. Hydro.com. Code Kristian. All right, summer. It is here. More sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. Number one thing you don't want to do all summer, you don't want to spend hours cooking inside. Trust me, it's hot. That's where Factor comes in. Factor chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. Factor powers your day, sun up to sundown, with nutritious breakfast, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer and get Factor if you want all the flavors and none of the fuss. Absolutely love Factor. You guys know I've been talking about Factor forever because it is so good, and they give you the options that you need. If you have a particular diet that you're on, that for me is like, I'm all about the protein right now, guys. And boy, did they have just delicious stuff. I love coming back from, if it's a day at work, if it's something that I need to do, if I'm coming back from the gym, Factor has me covered. So get started at factormeals.com/Kristian50 off. Use that code Kristian50 off to get 50% off free shipping on your first box. That's code Kristian50 off at factormeals.com/Kristian50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/Kristian50 off.
Thank you so much to Hydro and Factor. And thank you so much to Roxy Striar for being able to actually thank our sponsors and play that. Look at her go. Look at her go. No, Did you mute it?
Am I? No, sorry, kid.
There we go. I was like, did I do that? Really hoped I didn't. Man, couple things to tell you guys. Number one, I think it's absolutely huge, monumental that over 1,000 of you guys are tuned in to hear about Superman. I just think that this has so much buzz on it. I'd like to think you guys are all here for me and Mikey, but I know you're here for Superman chat, and we have more of that coming. We have 19 questions that have come in for us so far. For anybody who's new to the show, you guys send in those super chats. We get to them in the second half of the show. We also have TV picks coming for you guys. Plus, I want to talk about the box office and also the possible Batman 2 script. So those are some of the things we're talking about today. Keep sending in your questions. We appreciate it. Mikey, what's that look for, babe?
Well, I'm just enjoying it.
Oh, because it's so good?
Yep.
Because she's a technology queen?
You're killing it.
What do you think Luke thinks of me right now?
He's probably rolling his eyes.
Okay. Well, shout out to Luke for putting together the rundown and giving us this next thing to talk about, which is the Superman box office. And I know we briefly spoke about this before, about James Gunn mentioning that they don't have to hit certain numbers in order to be a success, but we will see more of what he had to say. Here we go. Let's see if she can do it again. She did it again, folks. This is also from our friend G-Man over at Dark Horizons. Gunn talks Superman box office and risk. Filmmaker and DC Studios chief James Gunn says his upcoming Superman film is far less of a risk for the studio than some are suggesting it is. In the buildup of the film's release, there's been talk that its success or failure at the box office will go well beyond the movie itself. The talk keeps expanding, some suggesting it will determine the future of Gunn's potential DC Universe films, the future of DC Studios itself, even potentially the future of the world. Just kidding, of Warner Brothers Pictures. Speaking with GQ as part of a cover story on the film's star David Cornsweet, Gunn says the film is, quote, not the riskiest endeavor in the world, end quote, and the numbers it needs to reach are a lot less than you might think. Quote, is there something riding on it? Yeah, but it's not as big as people make it out to be. They hear these numbers that the movie's only going to be successful if it makes $700 million or something, and it's just complete and utter nonsense. Doesn't need to be as big of a situation as people are saying, end quote. One upside to Gunn's script completed first approach is that the film hasn't required extensive reshoots or rushed visual effects to the extent some Marvel titles have in recent years. Little blow at Marvel there. The film's budget is still big at around $200 million, so Warner Brothers is no doubt hoping it will generate at least $500 million at the worldwide box office at a time when numerous comic book films have fizzled, even decently reviewed ones like Marvel's Thunderbolts. At present, Superman is on track to earn anywhere between $90 and $135 million for its domestic opening weekend, with social media reactions set to arrive in the next few hours, which already came out. 2 reviews have leaked so far. We already discussed the other reviews that came out that were pretty positive. Superman's set to open July 11th, but a lot of you guys are seeing it tonight. Okay, Mikey.
Yes.
What do you think about this? Do you think that this movie is not going to be a success unless it makes $700 million?
Here's the thing. And again, I've got every aspect of it. People are like, well, it needs to make 900 million because that's more than Man of Steel with inflation. And it's just like, well, how did Man of Steel do against Superman the movie with inflation? Superman the movie kills it. So was Man of Steel a bomb? Like, I think he had said this earlier. I think you said you remembered. He says, I don't need to hit a home run. I just need to hit a double.
Yes.
Like they need to get on base. They need to, all right, we're in a good spot. Like we're not on first base. We got to second base. We got a couple power hitters behind us. We got, Supergirl's loaded. Clayface is coming. We got Batman loaded. They'll knock it. Batman will take us home with the home run. And they'll keep building. Like I kind of got into this a little bit with Roka Online yesterday. And it's like, to me, and I think Gunn kind of alluded to it. Like, this is Iron Man. And everyone's like, well, Superman's the most popular character in the world. No Superman movie has ever made $1 billion, ever. If Superman's the most popular character in the world and that translates to box office success, why is his comic book not the number one selling comic every Wednesday on newsstands? If he's the most popular, and we're going off of that, of like, well, just because he's Superman, his movie should make $1 billion because he's so popular.
I'm not saying that, but I do think that Superman is more set up for success than the first Iron Man movie to make a boatload of money. I think all of this, frankly, is going to be a moot point because I think that this is going to break $700 million.
I think so too, especially after last night.
So whether Gunn thinks that it needs to or not, or whether we think that he is, when he calls that nonsense, whether we think that's nonsense, I think it's all in 5 days going to be completely irrelevant because I think this movie is going to do gangbusters numbers. The people who are online saying that this movie is going to flop, I think are in for a rude awakening because this movie is so far loved by the people who saw it, so far is on track for a stellar domestic opening weekend. And I do think a lot of this will have to do with international, but in general, I think that this is going to do huge numbers.
See, I saw a comment this morning where over the past week or two, the box office numbers have been fluctuating. Originally, it was like 130 to 170. Then it was like 110 to 130. Then the most was like, 90 to 110. And then this morning, it says it's now back to 130 to 170. It was like, well, what's happened? It's like, well, the social media reactions dropped, and now people think it's good. So now those people that were waiting are buying tickets.
I had so many people message me, Mike, being like, your thoughts on Lois Lane got me to buy a ticket.
That's what people are waiting on.
Right. They want
to know
people
that are not, they're not the me's of the world where I had my tickets 2 weeks ago. The people that are like, well, I only have a couple movies I could see this summer for budget reasons. I want to wait to see how it is. DC has a bad track record. And I think the same thing's going to happen with Fantastic Four, where coming off the past two, they're kind of like, I don't know. Let me see what the reactions are.
Whereas
Jurassic World
have certain levels of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, all of us. And when you hear that a movie is loved, when you hear something is great, you want to be a part of it. You want to get your tickets to see it. You don't want to miss out on opening weekend. You don't want to miss out on the first 2 weekends. You maybe want to have repeat viewing for this. I'm already planning on when I'm going to be able to see this a second time because it's been 2 weeks since I saw this movie. And I'm like,
well, that's right. You said a while ago.
Right. So I think that it makes perfect sense that James Gunn would be speaking on this, being like, guys, it doesn't need to do this well. He's probably saying it as much for himself and his own mental health as he's saying it for other people.
Sure. Now
there's the weight of the world on his shoulders, but I don't think it's going to end up being relevant.
And I think he's got to, he's the head of the studio. He's not even just the director. He's the head of the studio. So he knows more of the workings. And again, his sports analogy, I think, works better than the whole hitting a certain number, because it's like we've got to get the audiences loving Superman. You've got to say, I want to see this again.
Yes.
I want to see him. Where is he popping up next? Like we did remember this. Like, I don't remember the box office on Wonder Woman, but when that came out, everyone's like, when are we seeing Wonder Woman again? Because you fell in love with her. So this movie, and it seems like out of all the reviews, whether people are saying the story's a little wonky, gets a little jarring at certain points, they're raving about him in the role. And that's what this movie needs to do.
Yes, I'm super with you. What do you guys think? Would love for your thoughts on what is this going to do opening weekend? What is this box office going to pull in? Are you with James Gunn that this doesn't have to hit $700 million? Or do you think that it will be a flop? If it doesn't, let us know. Also, don't forget to send in your comments, your questions. We are going to be getting to those really soon. Appreciate you guys who have already sent them in. We're at 31, Mikey.
Not bad. Not bad. That's, commendable.
We're not even at my age. I'm going to be 34.
Where's your girl? Weekend. What's her name? Crystal? The girl that was dropping
I see her in the chat.
Left and right all the time with you?
I see Crystal. We can't take the weight of the world from James Gunn's shoulders and put it on Crystal's shoulders, Mike.
I'm going to.
You can't always be on Crystal.
Is my camera just really red or am I tan? Like, why am I look like this?
Well, what's so crazy is I'm very tan right now, but I look pasty pale. You don't look it. I look pasty pale. You look very tan right now.
Yeah.
Sir.
I'm doing the same lighting I always use. It's the
Shall
summer. I'm outside working a lot. So
shall we discuss it? Most annoying thing ever, and you guys will see this. I'm at my kitchen table right now because my very expensive studio upstairs doesn't look as good as my kitchen table. Very annoying. See
I
the
remember when
lighting
you
here?
put that studio together back in
I know.
with you, and was it Kevin did it together?
Yeah, and it's in person. It's amazing. I don't know what I'm doing with the lighting. I just don't know what's happening. You guys in the chat are telling me, Luke is telling me it's official that Kristian has seen this movie. It's official that he dropped his review. I'm sure we will talk about that at the 12 o'clock hour. I haven't seen what he said yet. I'm excited to go look at that, and we'll be able to talk
Oh
about
boy.
what I think, what Kristian thinks, what all of the people think. I want to hit one more story before we get to television, because I am making this essentially our very own DC movie news episode. We're
What you
only
got?
talking DC today. Did you see about James Gunn reading the Batman 2 script?
I said he just said it was great.
Don't
Right?
spoil it.
Well, you asked me. What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed
Yes,
to
I
say,
said I
yes.
saw he. Jesus,
Tease it. Tease it. You're supposed to say, yes, I saw it. Let's talk.
I saw it. What did he say?
Give me the tea, Rox. G-Man from Dark Horizon says Gunn has read the Batman Part 2 script. DC Studios chief James Gunn has confirmed that he's finished the script for Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, appearing on the red carpet of Monday's Superman world premiere. The film's writer and director briefly confirmed reports that he's read the script, telling Deadline, "It's great." As Mikey just spoiled for all of you guys. Gunn famously told fans a little while back to get off Matt's nuts regarding the amount of time it's taken Reeves to write the sequel to his 2022 first film. It now seems as if everything is on track to begin filming in January next year at the Leavesden in the UK as planned, with the film targeting an October 1st, 2027 release. Robert Pattinson, Jeffrey Wright, Andy Serkis, Colin Farrell are all expected to reprise their roles of Bruce Wayne, James Gordon, Alfred Pennyworth, and Oz Cobb, the Penguin from the first film. Specifics of the script remain under wraps, but the casting on the film should be gearing up later in the year, with at least 1 or 2 villain announcements expected. Mike, here's my question for you. I want a yes or no from you. Is the Batman 2 happening?
You know me. I've said in the past that it was not going to happen. I've said that. I will go on record. Everyone knows that the receipts are there. I was like, this movie, it's not going to happen. And now it's going to happen.
You think it is, for sure.
100%. And guess what? I'm excited for it because I wanted it to happen. But everything in the past, and again, I have no clue what was going on personally with anyone's lives. I don't know that. And they should be respected if there's something going on. But it just seemed like the announcement of, Dune 3 and Pattinson going to that. And I know the DC really needed to get their Batman going. So I just was looking at, as our good friend Adam Gertler would say, I was looking at the tea leaves. I never read tea leaves in my life, but I was looking at them. And I had said, it's like, I don't think this is happening. It's not going to happen. They got to get their Batman going in this new universe. And I was wrong.
Mike?
And I love it because I love the Batman. So
you and I did the exact same thing. We did the exact same thing. I was 100%. Like, I want this so bad, but I just see it happening. And then when this came out, I was like, yeah, for sure. I feel like James Gunn wouldn't have said this if we weren't going to end up seeing it. It feels like gearing up.
Reeves was at the premiere. He was there.
Are you
in the camp
of people? Are you in the camp of people now who believe that now this is going to be our Batman?
Nope. I am, and I'm glad you said that because I've always said this. I do not want Pattinson as the Batman in this universe. Now, I said there was one caveat to that, and I said, okay, let's say that Reeves' Batman doesn't happen. If they go with Pattinson, but he is a different Batman. He's older. He's been Batman for many years, and his look is different, and his suit is different, and there's a different Alfred. I would go with that because I think he's a great Batman that hasn't, if that series never went, I don't think he realized the full potential of him as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like the sophisticated, charming Bruce Wayne that he would eventually go to be in Reeves' universe. But now it's separate. I want it separate. And for me to be able to have two Batmans movies at the same time within a year or two of each other, I'm in hog heaven. I love it.
Agreed. We are
there we go.
on
Give
the
me that.
exact same page.
Give me a high five. There we go.
DC movie news. Let's go.
Right.
What do you guys think about this? Do you believe that this confirms that the Batman 2 is absolutely happening? Do you think it is happening in 2027? Do you think that Robert Pattinson is going to be the Batman of the DCU? We want to know your thoughts. Mikey and I on the same page. It's a miracle, baby. It's a miracle. Okay. Now, our friend Luke, I want to get to TV time. And yet, it seems as if I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
I
no. You're doing so good. You're doing so good.
So good. And yet, I'm in the overlays and I see no television. You know what I do see?
What's that?
I see this.
Roxy's picked? Oh, God, no.
These are the things I see. Oh, you made them like this now. We've changed it. I understand. Thank you so much, Lou. clearly on top of this. Here are my TV picks for the week. Mike, I'm going to keep you up because I don't like when I do this by myself. I want to know your thoughts on some of these shows, even though you haven't seen them.
Probably haven't seen a single one of them.
This is the show that everyone's talking about. I don't care that I'm on Kristian Harloff Show and we talk about nerd stuff here and we don't usually talk about reality shows that I love, but we are talking about it because Love Island is everywhere. You can't go on to Barstool without there being Love Island. You can't open your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok. Love Island, mamacita, mamacita. Love Island is the talk right now. I'm going back and forth between Superman, Love Island. Mike, you don't watch the show at all? You've never seen a single episode?
I don't even know what that is, Roxy. Is it like a Temptation Island?
No, it's just
hot people hooking up.
Yeah.
It's just hot people hooking up.
Yeah, but like all.
So you're a voyeur, Roxy. You're a voyeur. You're a cuck. You want to sit in the cuck chair in a hotel and watch couples hook up.
Say it. Say it louder. You know what? If I am, I am. You are the villain of this TV time because this show is so hot fire. But this week, another person was kicked off the show because they found she was actually maybe going to win the show. Her name is Sierra. And she was kicked off because they found on her social media up until like a couple days before, she was using racial slurs.
Oh, I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet. I didn't know what it was about, but I saw that.
You know Love Island.
Now she took herself off the show, right? Was that what it said?
So it's Love Island clearly had her leave, but what Love Island announced was Sierra left for personal reasons. And so unless you're online, you have no idea what happened, which was kind of interesting. But the tea has been piping hot this week. The Love Island already kicked somebody off the show earlier this season for saying racial slurs on their social. So they had to do the same thing, even though this was the person that was maybe going to win the show. So they did right by their audience by doing that. But I will say this show is like some of the most trash television I've ever seen, and I can't get enough of it. Watching so many people make out, it really triggers my germophobia. But I guess
germophobia. You're a germaphobe, Rox? I
you
never
don't
knew that
remember
about
this
you.
about me? No, I can't share a drink with anybody. Only with
what?
Oh my god, it's never come up with us?
No,
I've
known you, Rox, for 10 years.
It definitely has come up because like for DC Movie News, for the mugs, I like wouldn't use the mugs that were there. I'd always bring my own thing. Maybe I didn't say it out loud. I'm really embarrassed about it. I've gone to see like 5 therapists to try to hypnotize it out of me. Anyway, Love Island. There's 5 episodes a week. If you haven't caught up by this point.
What's the goal of Love Island? What's the end result?
I found out this week the goal is to win money, but they didn't even announce it on the show. I think the goal is
by banging as many people as you can.
No, I think that you find love. I'm unclear on the goals. I'm unclear.
You just like watching people hook up. Jesus, Rox.
Let's talk about Smoke. Have you heard of this?
Here we go again with your TV shows that are one word: smoke, craft, zipper, paramedic, wagon.
I'm so upset with you right now.
There's stick, isn't there? Where's stick?
It's coming up. Do you know I don't name the shows?
I know you don't. That's why I'm just showing. I'm highlighting the lunacy of this industry, where it's now to the point of there's so many TV shows. It's just like they don't need a catchy name. Smoke.
So you're against Lost or Sopranos?
That was 20 years ago. It's a little different now. A little different.
Okay. Sure. Those are just 2 off the top.
Friends.
I didn't even name Friends.
I did.
Smoke is Taron Egerton and Journey Smollett. I watched the first 2 episodes. I think there have been 3. I really dig this. Apple TV doesn't miss. This is my new show of the week. It is about a detective who he
gets summoned to crime scene by smoke signals.
No.
Okay.
He is investigating a serial arsonist.
Oh, smoke, because where there's smoke, there's fire. Is that his catchphrase?
Yes.
No, then there's smoke.
He
There's
stares
fire.
down the barrel of the lens and says, "When there's smoke, there's fire."
What's his name? Is his name Jake Fire? Is that his detective name, Jake Fire?
I actually don't know. Dave Gudson. I haven't heard that once. IMDb just told me that. Go check out Smoke. Let me know what you think. I finished Ironheart. Did you watch this, Mikey?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. What came before Ironheart? I didn't even finish Daredevil, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah, it just.
Hot take.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Will you watch the next season?
I'll eventually go back and watch this. What happened was it was on, and then Andor came out, and Andor just took my life. I was just like, I can't. Yeah.
Ironheart is totally good. It's not great. It was
fine.
absolutely good. Yeah. I thought that the ending that everybody loved, I thought was also good. I had a really hard time with the way that they mixed AI and magic in this. Usually I struggle with that, but I loved Agatha, so I kind of thought that I might not as much, but it kind of bumped for me. But I really like Riri, and I really like Natalie. So this show worked for me. It wasn't amazing, but I definitely thought it was good enough.
Okay.
Your favorite, Mikey?
Here it is.
Here it is. Stick. This is the best show on TV right now. I absolutely love it. You got to watch it. Wow.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Please stop.
Wow.
What is it? It's the ending. You're like, wow. It's almost like wow. You're like, wow.
No, do you say it? Let me see how your mouth goes.
Wow.
Wow.
There you go. Not bad. Wow. Wow. Like you're agreeing. You're like, wow.
I feel like I'm Robert De Niroing it, though.
Well, your face, you're like, wow.
I talk about Stick every single week, so you guys already know this is awesome. I feel like it's Ted Lasso vibes. I think it's going to run for multiple seasons. If you're not watching, it's easy to catch up on. It's feel good and yet gut-wrenching at the same time. It is so good. Make sure you watch it. I talked to you guys about Squid Game last week, but I finished it this week, and people didn't love the ending of the season, probably because, no spoilers, but it is unbelievably sad. What do I love? Sad shit. Girl loves sad stuff. So what did I feel about this? I thought the season rocked. I thought the ending was phenomenal. Very much so looking forward to the future of Squid Game. And feel like this is such a commentary on our times. Squid Game was so good to me. Absolutely loved the show. And just because I think that I shouldn't give you only sad things, Poker Face is super fun. And I've been telling you guys for weeks that I kind of wanted them to introduce another character that we start seeing more and more other than Natasha. And we do that in the last couple of episodes. We do. Haha. We have repeat characters. I actually think you really like Poker Face, Mike. This is an easy one to
I like Natasha Lyonne. I do like her.
She's really good. And it's a very fun show. So
pop, Poker Face. That's Christopher Walken's reading Lady Gaga. You never saw that? No? It's all right. Pop, Poker Face.
There's some Love Island joke this week about, like, what do you do to wake up Lady Gaga?
Pop, Poker Face?
Yeah, that was me. That's so stupid. All right, let's get to some of these questions, y'all. We officially have 3 minutes until we can do full reviews of Superman. I want to know what Kristian said. So, Luke, let me know in the chat. What's the best way? Did he write anything about it, or is it just a video? How long's the video? Should we try to play it? Do you want to try to summarize it for me in the chat so I know what Kristian was thinking? Should we try to get him on speakerphone, call him in, and see if he will give us his brief thoughts on it? Let us know the best way to do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to start taking some of these questions because, Mikey, guess what number we're at?
43.
67, baby.
Damn.
We
not
jumped.
Bad.
We leaped. We
Not
looked
bad.
up. You get it?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Here we go. Ralph Millar. Hey, Ralph. Thank you. So happy to see all the positive reactions. Seeing it tonight with my wife, and no lie, at home, we play with my 10-month-old daughter, and she raises her hands up to the sky when we say Superman. That's so cute. That's so cute. Love that you're going with wifey. I hope you love it. Thank you so much for the support. Go, pal. Always you rock. Support for Roxy and Mike. DC movie news reunion. Go, go. Gopal also says, Mike, how much stock do you put in Aaron Taylor Johnson being the next Bond after being named a new brand ambassador for Omega? Spoiler or coincidence?
I would think he's on the radar, but I don't think it has anything to do right now. But I would not be surprised if he is on their radar.
Okay. Luke, I just got your comment that you think it might be watching because it's 3 minutes. I think that would be really cool. Can you pull it up for me, please? So I don't have to figure that out. Thank you so much. Hope that's okay. And thank you, Gopal, for the question. RQMDSMD, my friend, support for Roxy and Mike's dogs.
They're here. They're just chilling today.
But are you supporting Mike also or just Mike's dogs?
Just my dogs. It's okay, though. Hey, it's okay. All right.
Joey Pedras, Superman week. Yeah, it does feel like that palpable vibe of it does. Superman week.
It's it. What I do like too is next week. I don't think there's anything big. I can't think so. Fantastic Four's in 2 weeks, whereas like F1 came out, got this massive like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then it died off because Jurassic World swept in.
Yeah.
And now Superman's going to do that Jurassic World, but I can't think of anything between Superman and Fantastic Four for like 2 weeks. So that's good. That's really good. I'm sure there is something there. I just can't think of what it is.
Luke's told me he can't pull it up, which means that I'm going to have to be a tech genius.
Oh, no.
Look at him try. What I'm going to do is keep doing these. Oh, Mike.
What?
It's noon.
Oh, well, there we go.
Mike, it's noon. Mike, I loved this movie so much.
You couldn't say that that was okay to say a minute ago, right?
No, I couldn't say anything on here. I love this movie. I said it in my
Oh, because it's social media.
But now this is a review. I love this movie so much. Movie so much. Let me count the ways. I love this movie so much, man. Okay. You're gonna immediately I saw it and was like, oh, I'm so excited because my DC movie news friends are gonna love this also. And it doesn't feel like in the past when we've like walked out and we've been like, we really like that. This was like I cried. I was bawling my eyes out during this. And then I was laughing so much. I just felt while I was watching it, I was like, this is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. It just felt so great. I've been begging for a Lois Lane that I felt like was independent and used her journalist skills and was so smart and useful to every scenario. And we absolutely got that. I think Rachel Brosnahan is brilliant casting. I love Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. David Cornsworth's amazing too. But we talked about earlier the Nicholas Hoult aspect of this all, and he's incredible. So I feel like maybe because Rachel and David are at more of the forefront, that people are kind of forgetting to mention just how great of a Lex Nicholas is, but he really is great.
That to me, I love hearing you say that because to me, and again, this goes back to my love of the heroes. I hate when they're like, the Joker stole the movie.
Right.
So-and-so stole the movie. No, it's a Superman movie. I want my hero to be the forefront. I don't want the villain to steal the movie from my hero. So I love the fact that he's going to be our Lex. To see him interact eventually with Bruce Wayne and to see how that's going to happen. I think he was perfectly cast. I remember saying, I did say, I thought he would steal the movie, but I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad that Superman stole the movie.
Yeah.
That people are saying like it's Superman's movie.
I don't think that Lex Luthor steals the movie at all. I think he services the movie perfectly.
Perfect. That's what a villain needs to do.
It's exciting to see Mr. Terrific get all the love that he's getting. He really deserves it. And I think that nobody is going to question that once they see the movie, why he's getting so much love. He just does such a phenomenal job. And I am really excited also that people are not spending their whole reviews talking about crypto, but a little surprised because he kind of does steal the movie. Like,
does he?
He's so great. And I know that you're not going to like this comment.
Oh, no.
I'm not like a universal dog lover.
No, I don't. I have to say, some people aren't. And it speaks volumes of the kind of person you are, Roxy. So, hey.
I had dogs growing up and I love my dogs. And I like a lot of my friends' dogs. I just don't love all dogs. It's not like I see a dog on the street and I'm like, Dougie. I don't feel that way.
I do.
I've never felt that way. I like the dogs that I know and love. So Crypto, I was
Nice.
excited about because it makes sense, but it wasn't moving the needle for me in the marketing. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm so excited for crypto. I think that it was just like the absolute perfect addition to this movie. And walking
Perfect.
away, I was like,
Now,
I can't have pictured the movie without crypto.
now you, Roxy, when you saw the movie 2 weeks ago, you only got one post-credit scene, right?
I believe when people say 2 post-credit scenes, they're talking about a post-credit scene and like more of a post-credit moment. And if that's the case, then I got both of them.
Because apparently people have said something new was shown last night that the people that had seen it a week or two when you saw it, they didn't see.
Okay, if something new is shown last night, I don't know what that is yet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. From what I saw, nothing in the post-credits was extremely important.
Okay. Maybe this is an important, because the people that are saying this, they said there's 2 post-credits and one of them is very important.
Okay. So I haven't.
Now,
I didn't.
Let me ask you this, because a lot of people were talking about this. I've seen a lot of this. They say the movie does a very good redirect because everything we've seen so far is basically the first 30 minutes of the movie. And you don't, like in trailers and in marketing, like a lot of.
My answer to that?
Yeah, I don't care.
The answer to that is yes.
Okay. Because I'm seeing it from so many people that I trust. They're like, you have no idea what you're in for because you've only seen about the first 30 minutes of the movie.
All right, I'm going to ask you this officially. What do you believe the Rotten Tomatoes score for the Superman movie is?
Is it out already?
Yeah, because noon.
Why is it? Is it real staticky for you?
No, is it real staticky for everybody else?
I don't know, but I'm hearing you and it wasn't always the way.
I just looked it up and I don't actually see it, but Kristian texted us that it was out.
Well, I'm going to say conservatively 87 to 89. Conservatively.
I lied to you.
It's not out?
But it's supposed to be out at noon, but I don't see it.
Don't they got to tabulate the scores though? Doesn't it take a little while?
Usually it takes immediately because people plug them in beforehand. But Kristian just texted us, check the Rotten Tomatoes score.
I know. What's he saying here? Oh, that's you.
No. All right. That's fine. We're going to keep taking questions in here. And
keep talking. I'm going to switch my headset here. Maybe it's me. Keep going.
We'll miss you. Seattle KO. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's one half of DC movie news. Shout outs to Adam Gertler and Johnny LaQuasto. Yeah, for life. And also friend of the show, Ryan Nelson, our producer. Thank you, Seattle. Lobster. How was David's performance? It is, this is a weird word, but it's perfect. He is everything I hoped would be in a Superman. He is somebody you can look up to. He's also flawed. He has real emotions. He gives some lines and speeches that to me were like so unbelievably moving that I want to put them on my wall to remind myself of them. He would be the friend that you want, the husband that you want, the child that you want, the parent that you want, but is not perfect. And I just think he nailed it. He nailed it. Couldn't have been a better Superman. Gopal says, did both y'all AC go out? You're looking dewy.
No, I'm quite comfortable. I got my AC and my fan going. Am I looking hot? Maybe it's my tan, buddy.
So
I'm looking really red.
We are
looking really red.
85. Let's keep it going.
We're cooking. Let's go.
Cooking with gas.
We're good.
Brandon Lopez, DC Movie News fans rejoice. Mike and Roxy, actually says Roxy and Mike together. Roxy's our real life Lois Lane. She works so hard. Thank you. Guys, I'm so excited for Superman and have the entire weekend planned with multiple screenings. Many blessings to you too. That's really great. I hope you have an absolute incredible time. And hell yeah. And thank you for that big support, Brandon. Hola, hello there. Says, happy July birthday, Roxy. 7/1 was my 43rd birthday. Go DC Movie News. Oh, we're reversed. I'm going to have my 34th birthday on Sunday. But happy belated birthday to you. Let's see. Mike Joyce, pay no mind to the trolls, Roxy. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, I was called like so many mean words. And the number one thing that I was called all day was a effing Jew. And just as a quick reminder to everybody,
effing Jew,
our first Jewish Superman. So really excited about that. Okay. I am too fly, Cam. Yes, you are. Hell yes, Superman. We need live action DC back. Listen, we have to get the group together to do something for this one. We have to.
I think it'll be tough with Johnny. Who knows where he is now? Who knows where he is?
Yeah,
in the world?
who
Where in the
knows?
world is Johnny
Is he going to
Quasto?
see the movie?
Does he know there's a new movie out?
Okay, then me, you, Adam, and Ryan, but maybe Johnny
Yeah.
join us. Who knows? Brandon says, one more for support. Thank you, Brandon Lopez. I just started reading comics. I absolutely love DC Universe Infinite app. The new DC Go feature is a game changer reading format for your phone or tablet. I have a really hard time with this, Mike.
About the digital comics?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Everybody loves it. I just like.
I know. And the boxes of comics that I have that keeps growing and growing is telling me I got to do digital comics. But I just like going to the comic store every Wednesday. I just do. I like hold the comic in my hand and.
Old school.
I'm old, man. It's
old school,
it is what it is.
Not old school. JM says all about that manicure, Rocks. Thank you. Got myself a birthday manicure. Eric Slabby says, do you like the comparison tone of Superman to Justice JLU and Supes animated series? Personally, that makes me even more excited as I love those shows.
I'm with you, Eric. That's like if those people saying that gets me excited.
No, I get what you're saying. I just don't know if it's an accurate comparison.
Gotcha.
When everybody kept being like Saturday morning cartoons, I'm kind of like, or like when people were like campy. I didn't feel that at all. So I don't know. But to each their own.
Let me ask you this then, Roxy, because this might help into that. Is this movie a 180 shift from our last iteration of Superman?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe to them that are so used to, we've had 10 years of that, whether you know, that has been there and that's the Superman in our world. So it would seem campy compared to what just happened. But
I would say
if there was no,
brighter.
What's up?
Like if we decided that the previous iterations were dark and gritty,
yeah,
I would say this is lighter, brighter. But there was only one scene that read as campy to me, like kind of at all.
I mean, when it comes down to it, and some of the inspiration he's using, All-Star Superman, Justice League Unlimited was a huge inspiration. Those like Superman robots, and the fact that he calls them Superman robots, that's campy. But it's the world.
Like
it's the world. Yeah, it's quirky. It's campy. It's like it's comic books. They're comic books, and that's kind of what it is.
I don't think campy is a bad word at all. I just didn't find this movie campy.
I think a lot of times people throw the word camp around. They think Batman 66, like that show. Camp, that's what that movie. But I think the term means a lot of things, and I think just the sci-fi 50s kitschiness of this film. Kind of, it's Silver Age.
Not how
Silver
I
Age
would
DC.
describe it. I wouldn't see this and describe it as campy, but I suppose if you're saying it means different things to different people, then
I think people just have a different idea of what campy means.
Yeah. Legend MM600. What's your favorite part in Ironheart? Love you, Roxy. My favorite part is the relationship between Riri and Natalie. I love friendship pieces, so I like that a lot. And just watching them navigate that, and also with her brother, I thought that was cool dynamic. Thanks for the question. Mike says, as a wise woman once said, we're all going to die, so don't be a dick. That saying should be on more people's minds. The internet would be a better place. Yeah. Yes. Agreed. Gopal says, Roxy, have you seen Skins? Oh, the British show. Nick Holt is ridiculously charismatic and you'll recognize a lot of faces. That's what I hear. Highly recommend it if you haven't. It's on Hulu. I've been recommended that shows for years, and I really do would like to check it out, but I haven't yet. Appreciate you asking, though, and reminding me that I definitely should. Okay. Thank you to Luke, who has done some summarizing of Kristian's reaction. Luke says, Kristian calls the film fun, faithful to the comics, and highlights that it's likely the most comic-accurate Superman movie yet. Despite some initial concerns, he was pleased that James Gunn's signature humor didn't overpower the tone, which remained consistent and respectful of the character's legacy. The movie presents a world already filled with metahumans, monsters, and Kryptonian elements, establishing a fully formed DCU from the start. That is true. Crypto the Superdog is used sparingly and effectively. Kristian praises the chemistry between David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan, though he notes there's more focus on Superman than Clark Kent. More focus on Superman. That's definitely true.
I've heard that from a couple people. They said they'd like a little more Clark Kent.
Yeah. I don't know that I wanted more Clark Kent. I liked the amount that they did, but it's definitely true.
Let me ask you this, Rox. A couple people reached out to me and they said, Mike, we hear a lot of people are saying they would have liked to have been a little longer. Did you feel like some time would have taken? And my response was this. Well, the big thing with people nowadays is like, these movies are too long. They're too long.
Yeah.
I think the reason I've been like, hey, we could tell a longer story, but let's leave them wanting more. Let's not overstay our welcome.
I definitely wanted more. Had the movie been 15 minutes longer, I probably would have loved that. But I didn't think
to general audiences that are, concerned. That's a big concern. Why are these movies so long? Why are these movies so long? Get it in 2 hours. But I think they're in a weird place. Like he probably had another 15, 20 minutes he could have put in there. But he's also like, leave him wanting more. They love my guy. We'll get him more. You'll get more of him.
I think they made the right choice, but I understand why somebody would have that thought.
Okay.
Okay. He also highlights Lex Luthor as the most purely evil cinematic version yet. I agree with that. While he felt there were moments where the humor didn't completely land, I don't agree with that. And the film felt busy once it locks in on Superman's character and his central conflict with Lex. It truly shines. Bottom line, he enjoyed it and is excited about the future of DCU under James Gunn's leadership. A more detailed review is coming soon, including reactions to the 2 post-credit scenes.
Roxy, right now from Harloff, it stands at 91%. Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm pretty surprised.
Hold on, let me get my glasses. That might be 61. Hold on. No, it's 91.
Damn.
So I said 87, 89. And I said conservatively. So I'm in the ballpark.
I thought it was going to be in the 80s. Okay. No, I'm looking on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and it seems to have an 89%.
Okay. So maybe that just changed
with
when Harloff did
72
it.
reviews in so far.
Okay.
I said that I thought this would be a mid-80s. It's definitely.
I hit it then.
Yes.
I said 87, 89.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Be quicker than that. We are 108. Keep sending them in.
Come on, guys. We can do this.
Hell yeah. Here we go. Let's blow this out of the water. Eric Slabby, it's crazy to me that people want Superman to fail. Same. Especially DC fans who are Snyder fans. Sometimes I feel like in the minority of fans who like Man of Steel, BVS, etc., but also want the new DCU to kill it. I don't think you're actually in the minority. Eric, I think a lot of people feel that way, and they're just like normal and not loud.
Eric, if you've known me, you know I'm like you, man. Love Man of Steel. I love BVS. I love the Snyder films. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I've never wanted a movie to fail in my life. So
I don't get it. I tweeted something out about that the other day. The amount of people that want this movie to fail. And it's not just the Snyder people. It's like this weird little thing that people want this movie to fail. I'm like, why do you want a movie to fail? Like,
yeah,
I seen some people like bashing Megan and they're like, oh, thank God we're never getting another one of those. It's like, well, they took a chance. It didn't work, but why would you not want more films? Like, why would you want a studio to not make more films? I don't, or like, oh, the Ballerina, never get another John Wick spinoff. Why? It's a great franchise. Why wouldn't you want another spinoff? Like, why they, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
I am too fly, Cam. Love Matt Reeves was at the premiere for Superman. I love DC and want to see how fleshed out it can be live action. Could you see Courtney Eaton for Wonder Woman?
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. It sounds like a TV person that I might know.
But what I love is I don't know who that is, and they can become iconic in the role. So I love that.
Australian actress. Mad Max Fury Road. She was in.
Okay.
Right now, I'm really digging Audrey Arjona. I think she's going to be
Bix from Andor.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think she'd be awesome. Yeah. But thanks for throwing in another name. Curious if other people agree with that. Crystal, DW fan. Oops, I'm late.
There she is.
Excited for Roxy hosting. Woohoo. Guys, how am I doing? Let me know.
You're doing great.
Or don't let me know if you
No, you're doing great, kid.
Joey Pedras, seeing Soups tonight. Roxy, curious how you felt about the score throughout the film. Oh, it's the first time I've actually been asked about that. Okay, so I thought that the score worked perfectly. I loved 99% of the music choices. One of my only qualms with the film is that they play one song for one scene, the scene that I think is a little camp. And I really enjoyed the scene. I know the song so well, like the back of my hand. I don't think many people know this, as many people know the song.
So it's
And
a
the
needle
song-
drop song.
Needle drop song, and
Oh.
it did not work with the tone for me. But the score I thought really worked. And later on, there's another needle drop song that I thought annihilated. So those are some of my thoughts. As we know, James Gunn tends to do pretty well with his musical selection.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah,
I'm curious
he
how
does.
people think about that. Eric Slabby, love both of you since the DC movie news days. Thank you.
Come a long way, baby.
Richard Alcatoro says, love you, Roxy. You're doing great hosting today. Hell yeah. Hey, Mike, in your opinion, where does Superman rank in terms of recent superhero movies?
I haven't seen it, Richard. I have
think
not
that was
seen it
just
yet,
I
buddy.
think it was a hey, Mike, exclamation point, and then the in your opinion was probably back to me.
Oh.
Because
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Not to me. To you, Rox.
it's definitely my favorite of the superhero movies I've seen in the last quite a bit. Some people were asking me if this is my favorite of James Gunn's superhero movies. And I think I need to see this movie again because I happen to love James Gunn. But this definitely impacted me the most off first viewing. I felt the most impacted by this. Okay, dokie. Let's see. Crystal. Mike versus Roka yesterday was very funny. LOL.
Little tit for tat. The dads were arguing. The parents were arguing yesterday. It's all for love.
Roxy, how excited are you for Big Brother this week? I mean, like beyond Crystal. Beyond. Y'all know I love Big Brother. I'll be talking about that next week. For show. Hitty. Hi, Coop. Hi. How did you get the name Mikey Christmas?
Honestly, I think it was Roxy and Johnny, right?
Yeah, I think you just...
It was during DC Movie News. We were talking about Christmas. It was like our Christmas time. And I was just like, you asked me about it. And I was like, oh, I decorate, I bake, I this. And I think it was you or Johnny's like, oh, you like Mikey Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Totally. And then Johnny used to do those epic intros for us. And
and
every
Mikey
time
Christmas
he would
is
call
on the
you
fly.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just a big Christmas guy.
Big Christmas guy. It's actually the most self-explanatory nickname.
But yeah, it was during the DC Movie News. They were just like, oh, so you're like a Mikey Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Totally. You should ask him about his chocolate balls.
They're delicious.
They really are. Crystal DW fan, excited to hear Superman is glad, very happy. Maybe good. Hell yeah, Crystal, it really is. Played out. I'm liking this no Harloff. Thank you so much. Crystal, love it when we get a mini DC News reunion. Yeah, me too. It's very fun. Mike and I have been doing the show together
3.
more. Hell yeah. Crystal also says, so hyped for Roxy's review. Yeah. Andrew Thomas says, looking really good in blue today, Roxy. Looking like Lois Lane. Actually, it's purple. Does it look
Well, Roxy is our Lois Lane. She's a reporter. She's investigative. She's hard-nosed. I don't know about that, Rox. Maybe not. Just take the comment. No, just stop.
Wow.
Just,
Alan Smithy. Mike, are you still friends with Roka, or has this new Superman movie torn your relationship asunder and you'll no longer be on your Christmas card list? Is this truly the end? Oh, hi, Roxy. Rock on.
No, it does not. That's the thing with Roka and I. If you could see us, like myself and the other geek buddies, Mike Vogel and Shannon McClung, ever argue about this stuff, it gets heated, so no. But I feel like I can do those things online because Roka and I do know each other. And it doesn't come from a place of malice or anger. So, hey, he's the guy I remember. I'll never forget him and Miss Clark Wolf back in old Collider days. They used to call me the DC apologist. So I remember.
What's the line in the room? You're tearing me apart.
Oh, you're tearing me apart, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. KJ, Batman had jumped over Superman in popularity in TD86. I have been asked this question also because I I came out of the movie and I did a quick review for Real Rejects. And Greg says, "What do you think of the movie?" And I said, "This is the greatest movie ever." And of course, half the comments are like, "This is our favorite movie of all time, lying bitch, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, oh my God, it's a turn of phrase. It's not actually my number one favorite movie. I don't think it's the number one greatest movie ever. I just love the movie. It's the greatest ever. I said that about Top Gun Maverick when I walked out of Maverick. I was like, oh my God, this movie is the greatest movie ever. It's just that feeling you get when you see something that's so rad and you're like,
But I could see in an age of social media, Roxy, where someone says that and it's a soundbite, I could see how they would take it. Like, what?
But like, come on. So I responded. I was like,
I get both sides. I get what you're doing with it. It's just a happy, fun reaction.
So
but I also
now I'm explaining. This is not the greatest movie ever. I just really loved the movie. I still like my favorite DC movie of all time is still Dark Knight. Superman is not my favorite DC movie of all time. Yeah, I love Dark Knight.
Really?
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 So just sharing.
Okay.
Crystal, hoping opening weekend does well for Superman. Same. Because why would you hope anything other than that?
Because there are.
Joy Pedras, the amount of positivity around Superman is so wonderful. Exactly how the energy around Superman should be. Truth, except for I wish the energy was, Yep. Hell yeah, Servitor, support for Roxy. Thank you. Crystal DW fan, chill, Mike. I was late. LOL. That's when you said,
all right. You're here now, so that's okay.
Chill, Mike, chill.
Yeah.
Eric Slavy, why do you guys think Batman is a more popular character than Superman?
He said more successful movies. Like Batman 89 really was a turning point for the character. Like that put it, like my parents went to Batman 89 with me and loved it. Like it transcended comic book characters and comic books and cartoons. And, you know, there were Superman movies before that, but it was not like Batman. I think that was the turning point. And then we got the animated series, and then it was Batman Beyond. And it was like, and the comics were doing really well. The Hush came out, and it just steamrolled. And aside from the death of Superman, I don't think Superman's had a really good run in comics till All-Star Superman. It's tough.
I think it's also just about their personalities. Like people like somebody who's a little edgier, and people tend to like somebody who's got that grit. And I just think that and sometimes he's a little more of an attractive character. I don't mean that like physically. I just mean a little bit more to him. But I actually think that this is going to really help Superman's popularity because
maybe
he's cool. Like this is not everybody who was like, this Superman's gonna be a little bitch. He's so not that. He's so not that. So I know that comment was driving me nuts. Hell yeah, Crystal support. Hell yeah, Crystal support. Track Stars. Yay, Track Stars. Support for DC Movie News. Love to see it.
Thank you.
Mike Joyce, support for Tank Man Mike. Hell yeah. Crystal, support. Thank you. Eric Sabi, having seen Superman, Roxy, do you think Pattinson's Batman would work in the new DCU, or do you think it's just better to have two separate Batmans? I definitely think it's better to have two separate Batmans, but I don't think that they couldn't make it work. I didn't see that and think like there's zero way. I've never been one to say that like different cities and different characters have different tones. So I don't think that there would have I could have seen this movie and possibly had an answer that was different than this. They have very different tones. I think that they could make it work. I hope that they don't try to. RQMDSMD, support for Roxy, Mike, and Crystal DW fan. Hell yeah. Speaking of which, support. Yes, Crystal. Mike Joyce says support for Roxy, DC Movie News Queen. Thanks, Mike. Crystal says support. Yeah. Let's see what's going on with Matt Krugman. Guest host Roxy Striar over guest host Diego Luna. He's been great, but you still rock. Roxy, I know you like CW, Superman and Lois. Mike, did you like it too?
Of the episodes I watched, I really did. It's a show that I was just busy through it all, and there was other things that had taken my priority. But when I did watch it, I enjoyed it. I got a chance to get to know Bitsy a little bit at Comic-Con a couple years in a row. She's one of the executive producers on the show, is a good friend of mine. So we would always be having dinner and hanging out together. And she's such a good person. And then I met Tyler last year and got to talk to him a little bit. And they're just good people. So it made me, that was like, okay, I've got to go back and watch this show and really take some time with it. So the episodes I've seen, I do really, really like.
Thank you for the really kind comment, Matt. Appreciate you. Crystal says support. Jesse Marquez says DC movie news, love for Rox and Mike. Crystal says support. Galagos says, why is everyone surprised that Reeves is taking his time writing the script? For the first, he was announced in 2016. It wasn't ready until 2019. I'm not surprised. True?
Is that when it was announced? 2016?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
I thought he was attached to do the Affleck one, and then they had split up because he just wasn't connecting with the material. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I think there was just a lot of secrecy around it and a lot of no real answers. I think if there was no DCU going forward with a new Superman and they had to give a Batman, I think it would have been much different talk. I don't think we would have been talking about it. It's just like, well, whenever the new Batman movie comes out, we'll get a Batman. But because there was a competing Batman film and this new universe was starting that it wasn't a part of, I think that kind of heightened the talk about it a lot.
Galagost also said, sending sand and love to the DC film crew. Superman's back. Thank you. Thank you. Crystal says, glad Sierra was kicked off. Racism, not cool. Yeah, super agreed with that. I just think it's weird that the show kicked her off and said she left for personal reasons. But those personal reasons are racist slurs. I don't mean to laugh because it's funny. It's just like, that's a bizarre way to phrase that. Crystal says, support. Thank you, Crystal. Mike Joyce says Roxy could win Love Island. One thing about me, Mike, is that I could literally never go on that show because
why not?
My germophobia. You have to kiss everybody.
Your germophobia.
I would like lose my mind. That would be. It's disgusting. Okay. There's like challenges, Mike, where they take milk and baby bird it into each other's mouth and then into a bucket.
And you watch this and you like this.
Yeah.
What is wrong with our society, Roxy? This kind of shit.
Let me live. Crystal says support. Crystal says support. Crystal says support. Crystal says support. Eric says, what do you think of Countdown on Prime so far? Is that
I hear good things about it. It seemed like a show right up my alley. I just have not had a chance to watch it.
I've never heard of this. My bad.
Jason Eccles, Eric Dane, or is that the name Eric Dane?
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy.
I love him.
Yeah.
He, I believe he just came out. He has a very serious illness.
I think he has MS. I think that's what it is.
No, I think it's
not
ALS.
MS.
I think it's ALS.
Yeah.
I love him. Support from Crystal. Thank you. Tyler, Roxy, which Love Island couples are you rooting for? Great question. Thank you so much for asking. Maya Papaya for the win, and I love her and Brian. So honestly, I think they have my vote right now because they're so great. But I also really dig Iris and Pepe. Those would be my top two couples at the moment. And it's so weird because they're both brand new. But Ace just pisses me off the most. And I know him and Shelly have been around the longest, but I'm not into this Nick Landria thing because Nick just jumped ship so quickly. I love Landria though. So it's a little bit on my opinion. Thanks for asking. Unheard Sirens Incorporated. Remy, either of you fans of Mr. Robot, one of my favorites of all time, been watching it since it hit Netflix recently. It's collecting dust on Prime, then it moved to Netflix's top 10. I loved the show. I interviewed them at Comic-Con for this also. It was a great show. Really good show. Did you watch?
I don't.
Okay. Gopal, did Owen Wilson's nose look extra broken on Loki because of lighting, or was I super unobservant for the first 20 years he was famous? I think you were super unobservant for the first 20 years.
He's always had that nose. I think so.
And I think it's so attractive. He's so cute. Support from Crystal. Thank you. Gopal. If you love sad shit, I highly recommend We Were Liars. Oh, people keep recommending this. Fortunately, I spoiled myself by reading the book 10 years ago. How dare you be a book reader? Jesse Marquez says support for Rox and Mike. Thank you. Crystal sends support. Jesse Marquez says Roxy has me so hyped watching Superman tonight. Let me know how you feel. Can't wait. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Mirjam says, Roxy, do you watch the new show / series Countdown with Jensen Ackles on Prime? It's so good. It's the first I'm hearing of it. Now it's the second I'm hearing of it. I guess it's good. Maybe I should. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Ryan S says, super job hosting, Roxy. I see what you did there. Cheers, Mike. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Like Joyce.
I'm watching it in real time happen.
Yeah, it's a meltdown. Did the movie feel more like a Superman movie, or was it more focused on being an intro into the DCU? Such a good question. I think it felt more like a DC movie. Sorry, more like a Superman movie. And there's certain characters we don't see that much of. To answer Mike's question earlier, Mike, who were you curious about? Was it Hawkgirl?
Guy Gardner.
Oh, Guy Gardner. It's not that he's not in it, because he definitely is. He's just not that in it.
Okay. That's what it should be. I think
yeah.
that's what it should be. Because everyone's worried, like all these characters, they're going to overshadow Superman. And not a single review has said that. They are saying he is Superman is at the front of it.
Mr. Terrific is significantly more in it than Guy Gardner is.
Okay.
I think Guy Gardner did. I think he was so great. Like, excellent job. Just when you only have a certain amount of characters and he's not. Yeah.
And it's the fact that Gunn has said, he's like, these characters we're introducing, they'll be around. He's going to be in Lanterns. He'll be popping up. So it's exciting.
And same thing with Hawkgirl. Same thing. We're just not as in it. But I thought she did a great job too. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support.
Jesus.
Daniel Breen, no, the Bear on TV picks, Roxy. Very emotional season. I talked about it last week and I had already finished it. So I can't talk about it again when I had already finished it in literally 2 days, because I thought it was such an amazing season. Did you watch me last week? What happened, Daniel? Support. Thank you, Crystal. Lando, 91% so far. I actually see it going down right now. Watching tonight, truly stoked for it. It looks like it has an 87 right now with 93 reviews. Still really good. Brandon Jed says, I never watched DC Movie News, but I love Roxy and Mike running the show. Oh, then you would have loved DC Movie News.
Yeah, you would have. It was a good show.
But sometimes we had bickerments.
Ooh, we had fights.
Ooh. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Ryan says, Mike, I haven't heard your thoughts on Denis. Oh, Denis. On Denis for Bond.
I'm on board. Yeah, I'm very on board with that. He's a filmmaker, and especially hearing him talk about his love of Bond. And to me, that's always important when you have a filmmaker.
Confirmed, or what's happening?
I don't know if it's officially confirmed, but I think it's as close to confirmed as you can get without him out there. But he's talked about it. He said he's loved Bond, and it inspired him to filmmaker. So I think it's a great choice.
Okay. I have no thoughts on that. I've never seen Bond. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Joshua Delos Reyes, does he get a new suit in the movie?
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. I felt like the rest of the stuff was relatively spoiler free that I said, and I'm going to keep it that way.
You are. Yeah, you're very. Yeah. I'll be okay. So I'll be honest about this, and I need, maybe it's just because it's social media reactions. Nothing's been spoiled.
Oh, good.
I figured someone last night would have taken a picture somewhere and thrown it up something, but nothing's been spoiled. I think
the post-credit scenes. I saw photos of the post-credit scenes.
I haven't seen those, so I think I'm going to go social media dark after we get off this show.
Smart.
I'm seeing it like it's 7, so yeah.
Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Thank you, Crystal.
Damn, I'm watching this happen live.
You are doing great
time.
job at hosting. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Mr. Brooklyn, hippies can smoke their peace pipe till their dick falls off. I don't care how high I get. I'm not dancing with any wolves.
So you're on a trip right now, aren't you, pal?
I actually don't know how to respond to that. You've left me silenced, except for support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. I am too fly. Cam, do you think Superman will have more suits going forward? This has nothing to do with this movie, but just in general, I think comic book movies like to make money with their action figures. And so I think that usually multiple suits for big characters are in order.
I always feel if it's in the telling of the story, like Matt Reeves, his next Batman, he'll have a different suit. And of course, they'll do it to sell toys, but it's the evolution of the character. So if it happens naturally, and that to me is why the Nolan films are so good. Like they made a point to explain why his suit is different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we got two completely different suits. And then in the third one, he had the same suit because he didn't need a new suit. He wasn't working with Lucius Fox anymore. So if this filmmaker can tell it in the story instead of them just popping up with it, hey, like I'll probably get hate for this, but like Zack Snyder, his Batman from BVS to Justice League, a completely different suit, like armor plates, and it was the collar was different. It's like, why? There was no story.
I have to
reason
say,
for it.
this happens to be something that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me when they change their suits. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like new, shiny. I change my clothes all the time. So I know it's different, but it's just not something that I harp on. What are you like? Some kind of Mikey Christmas, says GoPal?
I think that's what is this, like some kind of Suicide Squad? Didn't we used to
you,
say that on the show? What are you, like some kind of Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
We used to say that all the time on the show.
Remember the squad tattoos? That was wild.
Oh.
Crystal support. Thank you. I am too fly cam just without support. Thank you. Corn Emperor, long work day. Hopefully y'all love Superman. Yeah, I can't wait till I get that text from Mikey Christmas once he sees it. Support. Thank you, Crystal.
Rox, let me say this real quick.
Yep.
Can I say this? You know me, and you know I'm an emotional guy. Do you think I'm gonna cry?
I do.
I'm an easy crier in movies, and I love when movies make me emotional. I fucking love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
I was caught off guard when I cried.
For the movie that caught me off guard that I wasn't sure I was going to was The Batman. That scene with him and Alfred, and he's in the hospital. Oh, that got me.
So I actually cried like pretty
you said a lot
on in this movie.
Yeah,
but it was never weeping. I just was like kind of like overwhelmed with feelings watching this at times. Yeah, I'd be super.
That's how I felt in Wonder Woman. When I saw that, I felt that you're just kind of overwhelmed by everything. Yeah.
Noah Sparks, loving today's show. Can't wait to see Superman. Hell yeah. Cutter Hale. Sup, Mike and Roxy. It's been a while since I could say that I wasn't addicted. And Mike is Superman going to top Mission Impossible Final Reckoning for you. I think for me, it'll be close.
That's tough, Carter. Like I've seen that movie 7 times now, and I'm going to see it again. I think tomorrow night.
I didn't know you loved it so much.
Oh, Rox, I'm a Mission. I'll say this. I can talk about this. Someone posted like the 20 biggest franchises of all time, and I think I can truly say Mission is my favorite franchise of all time because DC at this point does not have a franchise. Like they tried to put on this list, Batman movies was a franchise. I'm like, that's not a franchise. So we kind of have the DCEU before that was kind of all over the place. So Mission right now is my favorite franchise, but I am a DC guy at heart. So I'll tell you this, if I can go to the movies next week or in 2 weeks and see Mission Impossible, Superman, and Fantastic Four all within the same week, that to me is movie heaven.
I'm so excited for Fantastic Four. I hope it's
I am too.
Okay, go pal. Roxy's shirt is like the Wednesday uniforms, purple, but reads blue on camera. Could be.
It does look blue.
Support. Thank you, Crystal.
I look like a tomato.
I just had pistachios, jalapeno, lime flavor. Yum.
I love pistachios. I don't like jalapeno.
Ooh, this sounds right up my alley. Dr. Brooklyn, why hasn't William H. Macy shown his hog in a film? I don't get the question.
He just wants to know why William H. Macy hasn't pulled out his dong.
Could we possibly answer this?
I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't. Is it rumored to be something of spectacle?
We're asking the hard-hitting questions here today.
Hey, that's journalism for you, kid.
Support. Thank you, Crystal. I am too fly. Zatanna versus Raven. Who wins? Mike versus Harloff. Who wins? You answer the first one. I'll answer the second one.
Oh, Zatanna's magic seems so much nastier than Raven's magic seems so much nastier than Zatanna's. But Zatanna can do anything with spelling it backwards. So
Mike
I don't know.
Fight so much dirtier than Kristian, but Kristian.
Of course I would.
But Kristian's been training.
What the old guy's been hitting the gym for a couple weeks? I've been training my whole life. Take him down.
Andy Birdroff, Bergedorf, sorry. Roxy, you're killing hosting today. Thank you. Support. Thank you, Crystal. JM, Roxy Striar, fabulously talented host. Terrible Owen. Wow.
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 No. You're like, you know what you're like BB-8, that robot in Star Wars, like wow. That's
you
you
very
sound
much.
like.
Thank you. Shane Canavan, thank you for the big support. Can't see Superman until next week, but so happy you liked it, Rocks, and positive response is really encouraging. Things are tough right now, and a lot of us could use something to inspire a bit of hope. Yeah, like anytime I say this, everybody's like, "You're so woke." But I feel like we need Superman right now, and the Superman movie is so full of love and hope. Exactly what a Superman movie should be. So I agree with this, and things are rough right now. I saw like all this, not to make it political, but there was this Fox News reports about like makes it political that he's an immigrant or whatever, and it's like when something's just true to your character, you're not being woke. It's just
here's
who the character
Here's the thing.
Don't make Christian yell at us.
No, I'm not. Comics have always been political. There was Captain America punching Adolf Hitler on the cover of a comic book. They've always been that way. They've just told it in the story. You were a kid and you didn't realize it. Now you're growing up and you've decided to decide one way politically and you don't like it, being told you're wrong by the stuff you love. That's where we are. There are those of us that grew up with comics, seeing that that's what's right in life, and we didn't change as we got older. That's all it is. They're not suddenly becoming woke and everything's political now. Like
Go
the
woke,
X-Men,
go broke, Mike.
The X-Men. It's civil rights movement.
Support. Thank you, Crystal. JC Bratton's Things That Go Bump in the Night. Certified fresh now on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% with 87 reviews. Hell yeah. The Man with the Master Plan. Love this combo of Mike and Roxy. Looking forward to Superman tonight. By the way, I was once considered a Snyder bro, but recent dev and posts from those guys really pissed me off. I had to stay away from those posts. Yeah, you can
with
be
you, buddy.
If just liking his movies makes you a Snyder bro, then hell yeah. But some of the stuff is like, what? The Man with the Master Plan. I'm a huge comic book movie
fan.
So no way I want this genre to fail. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Bergedorf for Mike's interwebs.
I think it's my computer, because when I play video games, there's no lag at all. It's awesome.
DC Movie News is back, baby. Yes, Amir.
I like your profile picture, bud.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Christian DW fan. Still surprised people were upset Superman is an immigrant. Always has been. I don't remember people being upset about it in Smallville and other Superman movies.
Because those kids that watch Smallville are now adults, and they have views that they don't, align with what Superman is. So they now try and say it's woke, but it's not. He's always been an immigrant.
Joey Pedros, out of all Lex Luthors we've seen, which is Holt's performance closest to?
Ooh, good question, Joey.
Maybe Michaels.
Rosenbaum.
Maybe.
I think Nicholas Hoult said he took inspiration from him.
It's not a dead ringer for it.
Were you a Smallville fan, Rox, or were you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's crazy. Not crazy. It's not. It's always was a well-loved show, but to get this kind of resurgence right now for it, and people looking back and just how good it was.
I saw Michael Rosenbaum went to the premiere.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
As he should. I would say that's probably the closest.
Nice. Okay.
Support. Thank you, Crystal. Don H, my sweet hot baby Jensen Ackles, is great in Countdown. Wow. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, you guys, I will. Thank you.
I've had a lot of people recommend it to me because they feel it's a show that, like, in that kind of spy Mission Impossible-y way, it's very similar.
Cool.
I'll check it out now.
Crystal gives us support. PLD Projects. Love seeing the DC crew back together. I may give Mike shit sometimes, but I love hearing both your thoughts on DC projects. Oh, thanks.
And
PLD.
I give PLD some shit because he's like this guy.
Whose dick were you just?
No, that was PLD was doing something on the computer and the camera cut to him one day, but he was just like, oh! It was just like this great shot of him.
I did not understand the visuals of what you
it's awesome.
I'm going to let it sit. Clip that out, please. Mike Joyce says, Roxy, watch Foundation. Just started. I'm hooked. No, I've heard great things, and it's an Apple show, which you know I love. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Corn Emperor. Superman versus
Jurassic World.
Oh,
Rebirth.
I was like, Justice.
Quality.
I haven't seen Jurassic.
You're not missing anything. I think box office, Jurassic World takes it.
But he said which is best quality wise.
He's saying quality wise.
And
I
don't
think that's
know.
A toss up between Superman and Fantastic Four.
I think it's kind of an unfair question because Jurassic World is out, right? But I haven't.
He's just asking like, what do you think? Quality wise.
I think
because you haven't seen Jurassic yet, so you can't say.
I haven't seen Jurassic and I haven't seen Fantastic Four, but I think Superman because it's so good. Support. Thank you, Crystal. AA. What's going on? DC Movie News OG here since episode 1. This feels like the day we had always waited for. So surreal. I can't wait to see it tonight. I know. The
amount of times we've been here in this situation, like we've been through a lot. Remember with Shazam, we're like, this movie's never happening. No way, Shazam. And then we're like, what?
Yeah. I also think it's wild because the closest I've ever been to DC and like actually being invited to things, because I went to this as a +1, but when we were going a lot and whatever, and DC was really like grateful for us and helping us get guests and stuff, was when we did DC Movie News. And I think it's hysterical that everybody now is saying that I'm getting paid for my responses and chill and stuff, mostly because I have been so vocal for all of DC Movie News about how much I didn't like Man of Steel. And that's when we were actually like, DC brought me and you in to do a DC Versus. Like that's when we were actually like tied with them.
I mean, we got invited to the lot to see Justice League.
Yeah, we got invited to
on the lot in a private screening.
Like so it's just so funny to me.
We got Ray Fisher. We got to interview Ray Fisher.
And I didn't like Man of Steel, and I said it. So it's interesting. Yeah. But yes, thanks for being a fan from day one. Eric Slabby, what teaser will appear first, Lanterns or Supergirl?
Lanterns. I think that comes out first, doesn't it?
Yes.
Peacemaker 2 is dropping in August. I think Lanterns is the spring or the fall.
I don't know. Somebody let us know. Crystal, not sure if I can get you a win, but we'll try to beat Roca at least. Great show, Roxy. Also, support for Mike's internet. LOL. Crystal, you rock. Support. Thank you, Crystal. Support. Ryan says, let's get Roxy to at least 200 for her first host. Oh, it's so sweet. Thank you. Making our way there. Armada, anyone watch Sandman season 2 part 1 yet? I have not, and I didn't watch the first season of Sandman.
I did not.
RQMDSMD, support for Roxy and Mike. Great show today, guys. Thank you. Crystal says, some people saying 175 million opening weekend. Do you think that will happen? What are your predictions? I hope so, but not sure. That would be a lot.
I mean,
you mean
just from last night, internationally?
Yeah, I think internationally, you must. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't see that domestically, but
Jeremy Johns and Dan Merle didn't like Superman, says Hershey Tube. Is that true?
Wow.
They would be the first two people I did.
Yeah, Dan Merle didn't like it, huh?
Dan and I disagree on like so many things, movie-wise. In life, we're friends. Jeremy Johns, we hit or miss with agreeing or disagreeing. I'd be shocked to hear Dan Merle didn't like this. That would be shocking to me. Is that really true? Support. Thank you, Crystal. Tom Rose, Roxy, more astonishment in your wow support. Okay. I saw somebody in the chat say I have to do it out of the corner of my mouth. Wow.
No. Wow. You barely open your mouth. Wow.
Oh. God. I'm really trying. Support.
I know you are.
Dr. Brooklyn, Roxy, remember when we vaped on the second floor in San Diego and got an innocent man kicked out? Okay, first of all, I didn't vape with anybody. You might have seen me. And then that might have happened. Dr. Brooklyn, that was you. That did happen, though. And I felt
I remember when Roxy showed up in grayscale and no one understood what the hell was going on with her.
DJ Case, support. Corn Emperor, like and subscribe. DJ Case, support. Thank you, DJ. Oh, my God. Gifted 10 Kristian Harloff memberships. That's awesome. Thank you. I am too fly. Cam Rosenbaum was at the premiere. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that. Armada, Mike shouting from a tank, soapy balls. Go ahead.
Soapy balls. I don't.
Corn Emperor, how many screenshots of Mike on pause? There's a lot. Brian Anthony, is this the type of movie to start my 9-year-old's daughter comic movie start? She just watched Megan 2 and liked it. Thanks. Been watching since Collide. Probably Collider. I am not good with kids knowing the ages of stuff, but if your kid can see Megan, your kid can see Superman, for sure. So, one thing I will say though is that this movie does really throw you in a way that, if she has zero Superman knowledge, I don't think she'll be confused. But I don't know that this is the best introduction to Superman ever.
This movie's assuming you know who Superman is.
Yeah.
And James Gunn has said, he's like, I think the three things he said in a super movie he never wants to see again. He never wants to see Batman's origin, Superman's origin, or Spider-Man getting bit by a spider.
No Pearl
meant, like,
falling to the ground?
The Waynes being shot, Superman rocketing from Krypton, and the spider biting Peter Parker. He doesn't want to see those ever again. And I agree.
DJ
I
K.
think everyone in the world knows what those are.
Support. Thank you, DJ. JM says, Sandman Season 2, Part 1 is extraordinary. Wow. Okay. Merjam, Serenity, Moon. You two are doing awesome, Roxy. Mike, thank you. Matt Krugman. Mike, since you're a gamer, you ever play Days Gone? Beautiful story, many tear-jerking moments. My favorite single-player story ever. RDR2 mixed with The Last of Us.
Red Dead Redemption 2 mixed with The Last of Us. I have it. That's the game. The guy, I think he's got a crossbow on his back, right? And he's like a motorcycle on a bandana he wears. I think. I don't. I'm so limited in my gaming because I kind of stick to like what I love. But I'm always on the lookout for a good game, so I'll check it out. Always on the lookout.
Loving the facial expressions for your wow. Thank you, Crystal. Carter Hale, I agree with you, Mike. Mission Impossible is my favorite franchise of all time, and my friends filmed me running like Tom Cruise into the theater. That's so
That's
so
great. That's great.
Daniel Breen, whoops, my bad for missing that. Watching Sandman. Daniel, what did I give you crap for? I don't even remember now. But we're not watching Sandman. Sorry. Sydney Johnson, Roxy the killing as host. Yeah, you got me so excited to see Superman on Thursday. I am in need for that joyous movie experience. I think you'll love it. Thank you, DJ. Support. Dr. Brooklyn, after the vape incident, I got embarrassed and decided to walk out and leave. And when I did, I walked right in front of Mike and Ken during their entrance. Oh,
it was like a Schmodown thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I was always getting in trouble for smoking during Schmodown.
You smoke?
Pot?
Oh. You token out to the Schmodown?
Only when I wasn't performing.
Jesus.
I like to watch things if I'm not driving and I'm not working and I'm just enjoying.
You like to be baked.
Yeah.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no shame in that game. Matthew Cooper. Guys, this is my amazing manager. I love you, Matthew.
And Kristian Harloff. Kristian Harloff is the throat goat.
Mikey, why?
I kill myself.
Why?
He is.
Okay, Mike, we have gone to the end of our questions so far. We're still here for a couple more minutes, so send them in if you have any more Superman questions, comments, concerns. Two things that I want to tell you.
Tell me?
Yeah, there's two things I want to tell you.
What's that?
Number one, I have absolutely no idea how to take us out of here. None. All right.
Know. Well, you would say, hey, you do it like you did DC Movie News. Mike, you got anything?
No. There's that video. Know? You know how there's that. And I don't know at all where that is. Is it just because? So it's not the ad break. It's not the Capes promo. It's not mustard. If I don't know how to end it, I will end mustard. No, this. Let's see what this is. No, not that one. It's not. Let's see.
Cock?
Nope. So I don't know. I don't know how to take us out of here. So we might be here forever. The other thing I want to tell you is we have one more coming through. How many times are you both watching Superman, Corn Emperor?
Depends on how good it is. I might go once a week if it's great. I've seen Mission Impossible 7 times.
But definitely another time. For sure, another time. I see PLD has joined us in the bottom. PLD, are you here to teach me how to take us out? He says thumbs up. That's great. So I'm just going to let him do that when I say it's time to leave. Then PLD can maybe hit the buttons for me. But until then, this is what I wanted to tell you, Mikey. Oh,
What's that?
we still got more coming through. Hold on. Cutter Hale. I have tickets to see Superman on Thursday and Saturday. I make really excited and fantastic for literally begins playing on my birthday on the 24th. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, to be 24 again.
Go, pal. No, on the 24th.
Oh, I thought he's turning 24.
No.
Oh.
Learn to read, Mikey.
Out of my glasses.
Learn to listen. What's the count? Says Go, pal. That's what I've been trying to tell Mikey, but we still have a couple coming in. Ryan S. Rocks, where's the count currently? That's what I'm about to tell you guys. But keep rolling. Unheard Sirens Incorporated Remy, this just in. Gunn has cast his Batman, Paul Giamatti.
The motherfucking Batman!
Oh,
I can't do it as good as Harloff, but
Let's see-
motherfucking
Do I
Batman!
have a clip for that?
Motherfucking Batman!
Thank you to either Luke or PLD, whoever hit that, because you, Lord knows I never would have found it. The count is officially, you want to guess, Mikey?
Man, I'm going to go on. Well, I hit it with my Rotten Tomatoes. So let's say 183. 92. 192. 201.
202, baby.
Yay!
202, baby.
200
202.
on a Tuesday.
Come for us, Coy and Winston. Come at us, bros.
Come on, bros. Come on at us.
Thank you, guys. Oh, we got another. Kenya King, which character you wanted more of from Soup's movie? All of them, which is such a good sign. But
That's such a good,
most
that's
excited.
a great
So yeah,
thing.
I'm most excited. One of them I actually don't know that I can say.
Don't.
Yeah, I won't. I won't. I'm really excited about somebody. But the person I'm most excited to see more of is Lois Lane. I just am so excited to see what her role in the DC is. And then the most cliche answer ever is like, I just want more Superman, which is a good feeling to leave.
I think that's exactly what this movie needs for people to feel.
Wait, look at this. Ash, a new guy, test post, please ignore. LOL with that big ass support going into the Kristian Harloff Show.
Thank you.
Shall we get out of here?
Hey, as my girlfriend says, let's end on a high note.
Okay, here's what I think Kristian does. Thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate you being here. I would say great success. High five. And,
Great success.
Great success. And go see Superman tonight, July 11th, whenever. Let us know how you felt about this show in the comments. Will Kristian ever let me do this again? We don't know. DC Movie News forever. And on that note, PLD, take us out.